morning, everyone. Welcome back to Ghosting with Anya. I'm your host, Anya Smith, and also an author of Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 1 and Volume 2. So, we have a new story for you guys. It's called The Room That Breathes When You Sleep. It is kind of strange, so that's never happened before. Anyway, well, we just got back from the library in Iowa. Went to Council Bluffs, but it's in Iowa. Well, college is in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So we went to Iowa Western because he had to talk to someone about his classes, which is my friend Fearless. That's why we went there. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing all right. So I'm doing all right. I'm just still tired as well. So we are live streaming from my studio down here, and I hope you guys are ready for this ghost stories, because I'm ready. And tomorrow we will put my book together. Anya's Ghost Stories Volume 2, The Return of the Dead. My throat sometimes still kind of, scratchy. That's why I drink a lot. I drink pop. I drink tea. I drink water. So it helps me, it keeps my throat from getting scratchy, but I would drink tea usually. So later when I go home, I will drink some tea. So are you all ready for this ghost stories? Please let me know on this channel. Leave me a comment down below right here on YouTube. So let's get started. Please click like, share, and subscribe. Just sit back and relax. Get something to drink and maybe some snacks. Go under the covers and let's get started on this ghost story. I would love to find out what's going on with this story. So let's get started. We are on season 4, episode 74. The Room That Breathes When You Sleep. That's a new one. So let's get started. The spare bedroom was never cold. No matter the season, it held a damp warmth that felt biological rather than mechanical. At night, Anya would hear a faint rhythm, slow expansion and contraction like lungs hidden behind drywall. She told herself it was pipes. Houses made noises, old houses especially. You know what? This kind of reminds me of my house that I'm currently living at right now. I always feel cold because I don't like it. The reason why my body has problems with it, because I was born different, okay? So my mom said that my body's different because part of my feet don't get used to the cold. That's the reason why I'm always cold, because I'm not used to it. That's the reason why. I'm not going to tell you her name. No way. So now this story is kind of based on my experience and me being freezing to death. That's why I always turned up the heat, so that way I don't get extremely cold, because I don't like being cold. I prefer being warm or hot or whatever, but yeah, this is kind of like my story. So let's keep going. Then she noticed the smell, not mold, not rot, something closer to skin after rain. I have that same thing. I can always smell something weird inside my apartment. Like, say, I don't know, something in the trash can in the kitchen or bathroom or in the office. Well, I could smell that from the office because my cat has a litter box in the office in a corner. So it smells. But, it happens. So let's keep going. When she slept near the room, her dreams grew heavy, filled with pressure and closeness, as though she were being held too tightly by something that didn't know its own strength. Sounds like me, but it's not really me. But it's kind of like my story, except for the strength. So this shit happens a lot to me because I get cold very easily. That's why I prefer turning up the heat a little after 70, like a little over 70, because I don't like when it's cold, especially inside the house and outside. That's why I'm different. So let's keep going with this. She set up a camera. The footage showed the walls subtly moving inward as she slept, the room shrinking by inches. At 3:17 a.m., the door handle twisted from the inside. The room seemed to swell afterward, larger than before, satisfied. I hope you guys are listening very carefully about this. It kind of reminds me of me, but when Chris and I are in bed at night, sleeping under the covers, we keep our door open. We don't close it. So, literally, if we kept the door closed, we would not know what's going on. So we decided to keep the door open. Even when I lived on my own, at my own apartment back in Kearney, Nebraska, at Kearney Manor Apartments, I always kept my door open. I never closed it. So, but when I lived with my mom, I had to keep the door closed because she didn't like the noise. She didn't like the noise from my phone when I listened to ghost stories. I had to keep my phone on volume down so she wouldn't listen to it. That's why I had to keep the door closed. But I didn't have any spirits come to my room at night and mess up all my shit. So that is the reason why I prefer to keep my door open. Well, the bedroom door, not, the front door. So, but things happen, so let's just keep going. When she sealed the door shut, the breathing didn't stop. It simply relocated that night. Anya felt the rhythm beneath her own mattress, syncing perfectly with her breath, until she realized it wasn't following her anymore. She was following it. It sounds like she's investigating it. It kind of reminds me of me. Like, I would want to investigate what is going on in my own house. I would want to know why could I hear the pipes or some kind of breathing, like the room. Maybe it's because the spirits are trying to figure out who this person is. Maybe the spirit doesn't know that the living has taken over the house. Or perhaps the living does not know that the spirit is trying to warn her or whatever. But, they just want us to know what's going on. So I would probably want to find out. So anyway, let's go with the questions about the story. If you have any questions, you can leave me a comment down below. So let me know if you guys have any questions. right here on the comment down below. So, like, right there if you need to. But yeah. So, let's go to number 1 because there's only 7 questions. Why does the room respond to sleep? Well, it's probably because when we sleep, we keep our bodies rested and so we could feel better in the morning. And if the room probably, I don't know, watches us how we take care of our bodies, like when we go to sleep, we drift off, we dream, we go somewhere, our subconscious, like literally going somewhere else in a dream, like a familiar place or whatever, but our bodies are laying in bed, just resting, recharging. So this is what it is. The reason why the room can respond to our sleep, because we need our bodies to recharge for the next day if we're exhausted, if we're tired because we had a lot of shit going on. We had a million things to do, like exercising or catching up our breaths, something like that. If we're going out for a run or whatever, for a marathon, and we're tired because we just need to rest, get some sleep because we have a big day going on the next morning or something like that. So that's why we sleep, because we need our beauty sleep because we have a big day the next morning. That is the reason why we, go to bed early or late. Doesn't even matter, but we still have to get some sleep because we're tired, because we had a lot of things going on during our day, and you never know what's going on in our little minds. What does warmth signify here? Well, because the warmth is when you walk into a house and you feel that the warmth that's coming through the surface, like our little pipe here or something like that, or the boiler room. Like when you turn on the fireplace, you feel warm as you come home from the cold. And you feel love and warmth, which is like your family or something like that. You feel that the warmth in your house, your body, it knows that your body's freezing and it wants to get warmed up next to the fireplace, or when you have a heater on, you feel that, the warmth. And when it's really hot outside, you go outside, you feel the warmth, you feel the love. Like, very peace. So, it signifies because you feel at peace. No crazy shit going on, no stress, nothing. That's what you feel, the warmth of love from your loved ones. And if your house is really warm, you need to turn it up. If it's cold, like you got to turn on the heat. Any temperature that needs to get your house warmed up because you feel freezing cold and you don't want to catch pneumonia, something like that. That sort of thing. Why does observation fail to stop it? Well, because maybe the observation has failed because the spirits didn't complete the thing or whatever spirits do. I mean, if you wanted to stop, you can't stop. If you wanted to stop, you can stop it, but the observation has to be completed somehow. Like you're watching the living their lives and you're observing it. especially people's movements or their routines or whatever it is. Spirits miss that. They want to live, and they observe the living, how they live, what their routines can be, what they're doing as they're alive, like what is their movement, that sort of thing. But and the spirits can't stop it. So if they wanted to stop, they would have tried to communicate with the living, trying to figure out what's going on. But this is what spirits do. They observe our routines, our movements, how we live, how we survive, that sort of thing. It is what it is, and you have to get used to it. What happens when spaces become alive? That's a good question. Well, the spaces that comes alive, which is probably like if you move to a place that has a lot of space, and if it comes alive, you'll probably have to investigate it. Even I need to figure out what the space would come alive. I would have to investigate it. I would want to know what happens when the space comes to life, like your house maybe. You don't know who is possessing the house, and how can I help the spirits move on instead of messing with it, moving things around, and trying to figure out how to find a place to live, even as a ghost, whatever, maybe share a living space with the living. A spirit would have to learn how to share a space with the actual living, breathing people. I would want to know too. Why does the room grow afterward? Maybe it's probably because it wants to know what the humans are doing as we sleep. The room is probably observing the humans laying in bed and sleeping, because it wants to know how we can survive. How can we keep our bodies from, not being so exhausted, that sort of thing. It grows afterward, probably because it's getting more space than ever, either moving forward or backwards. I would want to find out as well. So I'll have to investigate that too. People would have to investigate the entire house, see how haunted it is. Okay, we have 2 questions left before I sign off. It's almost 12 o'clock, which is lunchtime, literally. Is fear nourishment? Well, it can be, because that's how we survive. Fear protects us. This is how we survive. Say, if we have spirit and we are afraid of it, and you don't know how to process this thing, fear can be a part of us, and it's nourishment, but it keeps us alive. We are living, and this is how we are. You see, I'm scared of heights, right? I have a fear of heights and snakes. So how can I past it? Well, I'll have to face my fears, especially with the cruise or whatever, or going on a roller coasters. Yeah, I've got problem with that. So it can be a nourishment, yes, but if you have any questions, any of this, all you have to do is leave me a comment right here that says post a comment. Like if you have a question, you can always leave me a comment down below. So it can save your life. You have to face your fears no matter what. I might as well have to take my own advice and face the fears about roller coasters and cruises, like on a ship on the water. Kind of reminds me of the Titanic thing. But, I would probably have to face it, but I'm not afraid of spirits. But I could try and face my fears about anything. Let's go to number 7. What would it take to leave? Well, if you ask a spirit a question, whether you want it to be there or not, whether the spirit would want you to stay or leave. If you ask a spirit, like, would you like us to stay investigate, or would you want us to leave you alone so you can rest in peace and not let us disturb whatever you guys were doing? And the spirit would probably say, we want you to stay. We would love to chat with you. We need your help finding us a place that we can rest in peace for all eternity. And we would stay. But literally, yeah. I would probably want to stay and investigate. But if I want to leave, I would probably have to let the spirits know that, hey, our mission has complete. We'll leave you guys alone now so we don't have to mess with your shit. We're gonna go home and do our thing, We are going home so you guys can do whatever you want to do, and we are going to edit our videos with the investigations. So that probably the spirits would want us to leave because they don't want to be bothered, literally. So I would probably, I don't know, give the spirits, say if there are little kids who have passed away and got trapped in some place where they died, they wanted candy, but they couldn't because they're dead. So I would go to the store and buy some candy and give it to the kids who died. I would just leave it right there in their resting place on the headstones or something. And once we leave, the spirits would come out and take the chocolate or any candy. And when we get back, I see it's gone. So, which means you got the evidence. This is how it is. So, for me, I would want to stay and investigate. I would pay my respects to the dead, leave them a flower, trying to ask them what happened, how can I help them, that sort of thing. But if I want to leave, I will leave and not mess with their headstone, their graffiti, whatever, their grave. I would never do that. I would never, ever mess with the ghosts' headstones, with their graveyard and thing. So anyway, we are out of time. So this was our last question. So next week we'll be doing He Knocked from Inside the Walls, story 75. So thank you guys for listening, and I gotta get my voice rest up so I can do this again next week. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next Tuesday and next Wednesday. So please click like, share, and subscribe, and have fun and stay safe. So we will be doing this story next week. So thank you guys, and Thank you for subscribing and following me on TikTok, right here on YouTube as well. Tomorrow, we will put the custom make cover for the book, and we'll put the name on it, my first and last name on it, and the name of my book, like the title on it, and we will publish it soon, like on Amazon. We will put the same price on the book like we did on the first one a couple months ago. So we will let you know once it's done. I will keep you all updated, so just be very, very patient and we'll let you know what it is. So we did the introductions, autobiography, we did 50 chapters of the book, and we put my picture on the book, like, well, on the inside, which is when I was doing a carriage ride a few months ago in September of 2025. So we also did the turning pages, the numbers on every page on the book. So get ready to buy my book if you wish to. Please click like, share, and subscribe. You can go on Amazon and type my first name and last name, which is Anya Smith, Anya. My last name is Smith, Smith. You can click on that search as you type it, and the book will appear to you right in front of you. The price will be the same, $13.99, and you can place an order. We can do the shipping with the Amazon. We'll do the shipping, so you can go on Amazon Kindle. That's $8 for that, which is $7.99. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. And happy almost Valentine's Day, because it's coming up in February. So I'm gonna take a break from writing my novel right now, focusing on this podcast here. So next week we'll be doing episode 75. So we are still on season 4, episode 75 now. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay warm, stay dry, and just have fun and be good. So have a great day. Bye.